Hey roadies, how's it going? This is Adriana from Roadie Free Radio. In this episode, Larry speaks with front of house mixer and sound engineer Bruce Reiter, who has toured worldwide with rock and heavy metal bands such as Five Finger Death Punch, Fear Factory, Static X, and so many more. In this short clip, Bruce talks about what he looks for in long-term gigs that can last up to 10 or more years. One of the benefits of those gigs? Experiencing firsts with bands. If you want to hear more about Bruce, make sure to check out the full episode number 106 from November 28th, 2018. Thank you for listening, and thank you for subbing. Here are Larry and Bruce.
I mean, you've been with this band a long time. I don't know what their deal with you is, but it sounded like you're going to take December to July off and not sweat it. Are you going to do any pickup gigs anywhere?
No, I mean, if something interesting comes along, like, for example, a few years ago, an interesting gig came along that was 32 days of touring with Danzig.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I went out and mixed Danzig, and it was fun. Yeah. There's just the stars were aligned to do that, and I had mixed Typo Negative previously, and the band guys for Danzig are the same guys as the band guys for Typo Negative, so
right.
it was a familiarity there of just some beautiful people to work with.
Sure.
I'm not looking. What I look for are long-term gigs. Like I am always looking for whatever I perceive as a long-term gig. Like when I started working with Static X, I was on tour with a band called Slayer when I met them, and I decided, that Static X was a better opportunity long-term for me. They may not have been a bigger band or whatever, but for me, they were a better opportunity. And I worked with them for 10 years, which
Wow.
I went from I went into RV, sleeping in a bed with the lead singer in an RV, and that lasted for 3 weeks. It was known, fortunately, that there was an end in sight to that, because when they did the Ozfest '99 tour, which was their first big tour, they got a bus. And so we did the 3 weeks of these tiny little clubs, like I'm talking taverns.
Wow.
And it was incredible, because I hadn't done that for many years at that point, So, I had to figure out how to make these little toy PAs work, and hung out with this really awesome band as they were, gaining popularity, and everywhere they went, people loved them, and I like that vibe of the audience really being into the band. There's an energy in the room when the audience is legit into the band, instead of it being, just because it's what's in the media right now, and it's what, whatever media is shoving down your throat.
Right, of course.
Like I want when fans really love it. And I've been fortunate with bands that I've worked with. If you take like Limp Bizkit, during that first record time, it was amazing. That was so exciting. Yeah. And like experiencing firsts with people are awesome. Like, the singer of Stabbing Westward, he went on to do so many amazing things. He and the bass player, but the first time we saw the Grand Canyon sunset was together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you experience firsts on tour, and through life with these people.
Sure. Well, that's a great point. I mean, it's not just about the music. It's not just about, hey, the gigs are getting bigger and the bus is getting bigger, right? And all that kind of stuff. But you're right. It is like, wow, we're all leaving our little hometown together for the first time, or we're going to this place for the first time. And that's a very cool part of it. I mean, and from your vantage point, it's got to be pretty cool too, because while you're not part of the band, but you are part of the band, you're not part of the band, so you kind of have a little separation to watch these guys and gals go through something. You have a different perspective.
I watched the Five Finger Death Punch guys go from being normal working class musicians to being multimillionaires.
Yeah.
You know, their lives have changed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, you know. And these guys work really hard. Like, you know, people I don't think people give credit really for how much effort bands put in and musicians put in, you know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of touring people, I think, are a little jaded, and they think it's more about them in a way than the band, you know. And it's just like the sacrifice that artists, that musicians make is
Sure.
incredible. And then without those sacrifices, there's nothing for us roadies, you know, to do. There's
Right.
nothing for touring people to do.
Yeah.
Without these people giving up their lives.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And, you know, like that time that I have off, you know, the band, they're going to have a couple weeks here and there off, right? They're going to go on some fancy vacations or whatever. But even while they're on that fancy vacation, they're going to be, you know, doing conference calls and you know,
Sure.
business deals to make sure that they have enough money to take us on tour to pay me my wage to do this thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Your
And-
ridiculous wage.
Oh yeah. It's better than some and worse than others.
Right. Good answer. Good answer. You've been around, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.